To assemble your Nempnett Thrubwell's enclosure, you'll need the PVA wood glue, the pack containing the wooden parts, and the 4 round-head slotted brass wood screws and the 4 countersunk posi-drive wood screws. You'll also need a medium flat-bladed screwdriver for the brass screws and a small posi-drive screwdriver for the countersunk screws. Open the pack and you'll see the wooden kit parts along with a fine rubber band. Use the abrasive paper to smooth any rough edges and to remove any cutting marks. Don't sand the plywood parts too much, as the top layer of wood is quite thin. The first step is to screw the top panel to the base using 2 of the countersunk screws. The top panel doesn't have a large hole drilled in it. Don't use any glue, just tighten the screws through the holes in the base into the pre-drilled holes in the end panel. Tighten each screw until its head is level with the base. Again, with no glue, you'll need the bottom panel with the hole in it. Make sure the larger hole faces inwards and repeat the process with the 2 remaining countersunk screws. If it looks like this, well done! Now remove the white lid from the glue container and cut off just the tip of the glue dispenser where it's sealed. The next job is to glue the wooden reinforcing ring marked with an A onto the left side panel marked with an L. Squeeze a thin line of the glue around the marked circle, then firmly push the reinforcing ring into place. Make sure it lines up exactly with the hole in the side panel, as a copper pipe will later need to fit through the hole. To fix the left-hand panel on, squeeze a line of glue up the left-hand sides of the end panels and push the left side panel into place. Make sure the L markings are next to one another. If any glue squeezes out onto the outside of the enclosure, wipe it off with a damp cloth before it dries, otherwise it could affect the wood polish. Next, fix on the right-hand side panel in the same way. To hold the sides on firmly while the glue dries, stretch the supplied rubber band around the centre of the enclosure. Then ensure both sides line up with the top and bottom panels. Again, check to make sure no glue is squeezed out onto the outside panels. Now to fit on the front panel with the 4 brass screws. Make sure the front marking faces outwards and is at the top. Don't glue the front panel, just tighten each screw into its pre-drilled hole with your flat-bladed screwdriver. You'll now need the 2 sides of the battery compartment. Run a little glue around the cutouts and push the 2 parts together so that the marked arrows face each other. Any excess glue can be wiped off with a tissue or damp cloth. Make sure the battery compartment sides are at right angles. Now to assemble the model battery, which will be used to power the clock mechanism. Run a little glue in one slot and push the circular piece into place so that the sides are level. The final part of this assembly is to glue the battery compartment into place. The supplied PVA glue sets quite quickly, so with gentle handling this should be possible straight away. Put some glue onto the outwards facing cutout and edges as shown. Then gently place the battery compartment into the enclosure so it lines up with the markings. Well done, that's it for the assembly so far. Now you'll need to wait for at least a couple of hours while the glue dries. In the meantime, you could have a nice cup of tea, or indeed coffee, depending on your predilection.